In football, we cut at a lot of different angles. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to cut diagonally or at a 45-degree angle, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. So let's get into it right now. Cutting and turning the hips diagonally at a 45-degree angle happens when a wide receiver runs a post, a corner, or a defensive player breaks at a 45, either forward or backward. And so what I want to give you guys is some knowledge and a couple tips to help you guys be evasive and deceptive as a wide receiver when making 45-degree cuts, and then very good at covering ground if you're a defender cutting at a 45 and breaking at a 45 forward and backward. I'm going to start with defense. And defensively, we need to make sure that we are under control first and foremost, and we have our head on a swivel while we're turning. So really, this is all about hips, okay? We want to make sure that we disassociate our hips from our upper body, okay? If we turn our upper body completely with our hips and we turn our head completely with our hips, as a defensive player, we're going to have some trouble moving around the field and changing direction properly. So we want to make sure that our hips are very loose so we can make plays sideline to sideline, whether you're a linebacker, defensive lineman, or a defensive back. So we want to make sure that we can disassociate, which just means basically your hips can move without your upper body, so you guys can see the whole field and move around the whole field at the same time. Another thing, as a defensive player, you need to be very, very confident at running at different angles. We need to be good at running backward. We need to be good at planting our foot and sprinting forward at an angle. We can't just be good at running at a straight line, shuffling side to side, and being very robotic. We have to be very open and fluid. So I want you guys to practice turning at different angles, flipping your hips and running at 45-degree angles, planting your foot and going downhill, and then reversing and making sure that you can go 45 one direction and then be able to flip and go 45 another direction very rapidly. So now for the offensive side of the ball. So as an offensive player, we're really talking about route running or open field moves to make people miss. And so really the main focus here is just being deceptive. As running a post or running a corner, we just need to make sure that we're deceptive and we know how to manipulate the body of a defensive player. And so what we want to make sure of is we square up before we make our cut. And then when we make our cut and break, whether it's an expected break, when you know you're running a post route or a corner route, or if you're trying to juke out a defender and it's unexpected, we need to make sure we put a lot of force into the ground. Okay, so make sure you guys put a lot of force into the ground if you're attempting to break at a 45-degree angle. Then you gotta make sure that you turn your hips with where you're going so you can accelerate properly. A lot of people turn their hips really late after they plant, and it's very, very hard for them to get back up to speed. The best way to be elusive and evasive when route running or making someone miss in the open field is to be able to plant and then re-accelerate right away so you can create separation. So you need to make sure that you have force in the ground and you are very elusive and a good actor when you're moving on the field trying to confuse a defender. I hope this gave you guys a lot of insight both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Again, you're never going to be cutting in a perfect protractor 45-degree angle on the football field, but we always need to be just a little bit more aware of how to move our hips, how to be elusive and evasive as an offensive player, and how to be under control and ready to adapt as a defensive player. If you guys like this video, hit that like button so more football players can get with this video, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any more content. I do position specific drills, speed and agility drills, and if you live in Phoenix, Arizona and you'd like to get some work in, I'm a trainer in the Phoenix area, and so my website is down below. You can hit that apply button and we can get started. Thank you guys again for watching, and let's get better today.